Welcome back, everyone, to the Complete Pineleaf. We are back here in Noon with Moblong to find out what we need to do for the Rangers now. Mastering the Wilds. After I sent you on your patrol, I sent several other Rangers to track our foes in further reaches of Ithilien. Many of them went to the north, a few to the west, and a few to the east. The border of Dagorlat has always been contested, but our foes have been emboldened by their master's rage and poured across the greater numbers than they had previously weathered. It has been some time, and I would hope that my scouts have all returned by now. I would ask that you gather the reports and deliver them to me. Search for my scouts in Noon and hear what they have learned of our foes. Alright, so I need to speak with 5 rangers and gather the reports. What else? For a moment there I thought he was going to ask us to go and scout all those areas. Well, it's good that they actually have some scouts themselves, yes. Oh, well, looks like they're going to ask me to do some scouting anyway. For many years, the Rangers held refuges throughout the lands of Ithilien. However, as the enemy regained his terrible might, we began to lose our footholds one by one, and now only Henneth Anun remains. Our hidden refuge of Torngroth held long against the enemy's forces, outlasting both Thurendath and Adadolin, but it too fell. I wonder what has become of them since we were forced to abandon them. With all we have endured in the great battle, can we now hope to reclaim what was lost? I would ask that you scout them, my friend. Torngroth can be found along a riverbed far to the northwest. Thurindas is to the north, and Adab Abdolin along the mountains of Shadow in the northeast. Go with haste and tell what you uncover. The time for the Rangers is not yet ended. But remember, get those reports first. Yes, of course. Let's get the reports first. Ah, but are these more quests or are these people to speak with for reports? I would have thought it would have been a different type of ring, though, if it was for reports. Ithilien may be beset with foes, my friend, but we have not yet lost our advantage. Our foes are large in numbers, but lacking in resolve. They don't share our knowledge of these lands, and there remains many things in the dark of the woods that might strike fear into the heart of an orc. It is that fear that we must prey on, Pineleaf. The breaking of branches, a chirp that breaks the silence, and a howl of a great beast. Our foes have quailed before them all. Orc and Kundalar alike search these lands surrounding Hennethanoon, and they are fearful of what lurks in the shadows of Ithilien. Seek their searchers in the lands beyond Hennethanoon, and let loose a cry while you remain hidden from their sight. The fear that we can instill on them is greater to our cause than any amount of bloodshed. So I need to spook 6 Mordor searchers and 6 Kundalar searchers. Okay. And what about this ranger? Oh, you have got to be kidding! I thought we were near the end. A gift from the enemy. Actually, these are repeatables. Are all these things repeatables? Yeah, okay. Oh, these are all, yeah. They seem to be Earless repeatables or something like that. Well, I'm not going to worry about those. Instead, I am heading upstairs, and I hope that these are the rangers, maybe that these quest rings represent the rangers who I must speak with to get reports. Yes, I need a report. The enemy's forces shall not long be broken. Well, that's not encouraging. What do you say? The Kundalar have crossed the battle plain and now camp within Ithilien. Well, that's not the best news I've heard. It looks like there is one up here. Or maybe even two up here. What do you say? We must act against the Easterlings now. Well, actually, it looks like... Or maybe that is... Oh, no, no, this scout here has something to report. What do you say? None have come to the Forbidden Pool. Not today. Well, except for one hobbit. But I suppose they'll give me a pass on that. Now, where's the last of these rangers? Ah, here's the last of the rangers. What do you need? The enemy's forces plan some evil for the mountain pass. The enemy's forces are always planning evil. I have returned with the reports. These reports are troubling, and much will need to be done to ensure that our foes cannot gain more of a hold in Ithilien. The Kundalar are a terrible foe, for they are unlikely to surrender in direct combat. If we are to rout their forces in Ithilien, it must be through total defeat. The orcs of Mordor are more easily spooked, but their numbers are endless, and the Dark Lord drives them further in Ithilien each day. To be free of even more of our foes will be a great boon to our cause. Yeah, there is that. Well, we are done with that, so let us head on out. But before we go around and doing this patrol and going around spooking enemies, we do need to speak with Aragorn. I've checked the ambush site.
The rangers of Ithilien have spoken to me of that pass.
Thank you for your report, Pineleaf. I wondered if our foes would seek to mount a final resistance to our march, and it seems as if they will attempt it at Cirith Negin. The rangers of Ithilien have spoken to me of that pass. They have often used it to surprise unwary foes, and it was there they recently ambushed a marching force that accompanied the fearsome Mumak and drove the beast from the bonds of his handlers. Yes, I encountered that beast recently, and the creature stampeded from Cirith Negin and away from the war, and now there is no whisper of it. Well, that's because I sent it away. Will the orcs seek to do the same to the host of the West? They cannot be allowed to succeed at this, Pineleaf. Well,
We'll need skill and stealth if we are to ambush the ambushers.
Yes, because we need to ambush the ambushers, we need skill and stealth. So a small force of skilled hunters and trackers will be able to move in the woods unseen. Hethrandir, by the lookout point of the Forbidden Pool, will know which of the Rangers of Ithilien will be best suited for this purpose. Some of my kin will want to take part in the adventure as well. Speak to Dagras in the cave of Henethanoon, and he will assemble these others. Alright, so speak to Hethrandir by the lookout point over the Forbidden Pool. That'd be way up at top. Yeah, there, we're preparing a strike force against the enemy, and we need some people with stealth.
I will choose rangers of our band that are up to this task.
I heard that a force of orcs and Easterlings seeks to waylay the King Elisar's army as he proceeds northward through the pass of Cirith Negin. These monsters and their foul allies are monstrous fools if they think to use our own tricks against us. This is the land of the moon, and many are the moons that have risen and set upon my life. Still, I am here, Faramir's most loyal friend, and I will aid him until I breathe my very last. Younger men you will find, quicker perhaps, but none will know this land as I do. It is neither my lot nor my desire to lead in anything but this. I will lead our men into the woods and against our foes, and back again. I will choose rangers of our band that are up to the task. Well, that's good to hear. Now, I need to speak with Daggeras and see what he recommends. Hello there, we're trying to assemble a strike force.
I will find others of my people who wish to help.
I am no stranger to errands of secrecy, Pineleaf, and I know that neither are you. There was once a time when I would say we could have handled this ambush by ourselves, but there's wisdom in being prepared. I will find others of my people who will wish to help, and we will have greater chance of success if they are beside us on secret feet. Yes, battle on the open plain is very different from forest fighting. I will not say it will be a relief to engage in the latter once again, but every man in my company has seen enough of the former by now to last him until the end of his days. Yes, I suppose so. And apparently, Legolas wishes to speak with me also. Yes?
I hope you are planning to ask me to join on this endeavor.
Yes. Hi there, Pineleaf. I don't want to be left out of such an adventure. Perhaps Aragorn asked me by name, and you thought he asked for Daggeras instead? I will gladly accompany you on this to ambush the ambushers, my friend. Tell me when you are ready and we can leave. All right. Let's go and have a little trip to breaking an ambush.
Orcs and Easterlings have set a trap for the host of the West, but now we seek to foil the ambush before it can be sprung.
Now, of course, bringing Gimli to a stealth mission is a rather unusual thing. We have come the long way around, Kirith Negan, Pineleaf, and now we are in position to surprise the Orcs and Easterlings before they can attack Aragorn's host. We will descend upon them in full fury and send them screaming back to their own lands or to death! We must maintain our secrecy and remain quiet as we approach. What? But Gandalf said that he wanted us to make noise. You can't expect me to charge into battle without a battle cry, Legolas. The orcs will have a picket north of the pass. You and Pineleaf need to defeat them. Silently. Maybe you could whisper your battle cries, Gimli. Whisper! Ha! Oh well. Whisper. All right, Pineleaf, let's find these enemy pickets. Quietly. Orcs are close, Pineleaf. Yeah. That's how you whisper about a cry. And of course, we have the daily grip of Mordor. Let's kill some people. I suppose I'll be running into enough to finish that quest again. Another scout. Khazad Amenu. Yeah. Don't worry about the whispering dwarf. I think we've been unnoticed so far, Pineleaf. Alright. Don't go through the bush. I mean, that's one way to stay inconspicuous. Run right through the bush. There are foes nearby.
Khazad Amenu.
Yeah. Khazad Amenu. Khazad Amenu. Easterning pickets. We got through some orcish pickets. Now some easterning pickets. We have a little picket fence here. Someone else approaches. It's no idea. Oh, it's Daggeras. The rangers are in position, Pineleaf, and so too are the elves. Now we just need someone to give the signal to attack. Why don't you walk down to the road behind Kirithnagan and let our enemies know that they have been outmaneuvered? The time for stealth is over. Now that we are ready to launch the attack. Well, that should make Gimli happy. Your attack will be the signal for the rest of us. Yeah, I thought I thought Gimli would be happy about that. Finally, no more sneaking around. Let's go. Aha!
Barukazad!
Barukazad! Hi there! We're under attack! They're doing nothing about it. Oh. Oh well. Okay. Where did Gimli go? Oh, here he is. Well done, Gimli. You're as quiet as anyone should have expected. The threat has passed. Why? Well, that was quite an effective ambush then. We only had to kill one enemy. The Rangers took care of the rest. Well, except for those pickets, of course. We have victory. The enemy has been dispersed, and will no longer pose a threat to the host of the West. Thank you for your heroism, Pineleaf. I must thank your friend Gimli as well, both for the swing of his axe and the stillness of his tongue during the approach. I know that dwarves who could enjoy the good bellow, and keeping him quiet must have not been an easy. We have all done a service for Aragorn this day. I'm glad to have made the road safe for the host. There we go. That seemed like a successful operation.
We dispersed our foes, but do you think it was too easy?
Thanks to our efforts and those of our friends, the host of the West will now be able to proceed safely through Cirith-Anagan. And yet my mind turns over and over upon an idea that would not leave me in peace. We foiled the ambush and dispersed our foes, true, but does it seem to have been too easy? Certainly our friends in Ithilien have ambushed many foes from that spot with success, but this effort on the part of the orcs and easterlings does not seem to have been any real chance of victory. Their force was too disorganized to cause us any great trouble. Indeed, it seems to me that even had they stumbled unknowingly into a trap, we would still might have survived to rout our foes. Will you mention my concerns to Aragorn? There's something peculiar about all of this. Something peculiar. Well, let's see what Aragorn thinks about it. We foiled the ambush, but some people are worried that it perhaps was a little bit too easy.
Daggeras is troubled by the ease with which the ambush was upset.
Yes, I think there's an answer for that, though it may not soothe his worries any. I deemed that the chief purpose of that ambush was to encourage us to keep on our course, to draw us on with a false estimate of the enemy's weakness. If it did cause us harm, so much the better. But I think it unlikely that it was intended to do anything other than be a feint at our strength and bring us on with confidence. Aha! In other words, that it was a little bit of a fly trap for us. Well, that is always a possibility.
Go to Bar Tarnaher and learn what the Rangers know of the road ahead.
Do not let my assessment challenge your resolve, my friend. That the enemy believes he has us at a disadvantage means that he prepares to seize the bait and fall into our trap that we've set for him. We must not give him any sign that there is any real danger that lies anywhere, or we will endanger more than our own lives. All of Middle-earth will be at risk. And so we continue. There is a tower to the northwest of Hineth Anun, a ruin called Bar Tyranhir. From there, the Rangers of Ithilien have launched many strikes against the orcs. Go with Legolas and Gimli to Bar Taranhir and learn what the Rangers at that place know of the road ahead. Alright. To Bar Taranhir. What will you find at Bar Taranhir? And also, what about those abandoned refuges of the Rangers and those spooky Mordor orcs and Kunalar? We'll have to find that out in the next episode of The Complete Pineleaf.